What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett.
I'm Lance.
This is Rants Are Us.
As always, guys, please like our videos, leave a comment, share it, and subscribe.
And we're on the road to 1,000, so let's make it happen, guys. And today we're going to be talking about Episode 7, Umbrella Academy.
And as always, we are a channel by fans for fans.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any thoughts or you think we said something that you don't agree with or that you do agree with, leave a comment in the bottom. We'll get back to you.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing. Viewer requests, big for us. All right. Anyways.
We want to be a channel for the fans.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
anytime you request something,
we love conversing y'all. Leave a comment and we'll get back to y'all
as possible.
Yeah.
But let's get into it now.
All right. Episode 7. What'd you think?
I thought it was good. 5 and 6 I kind of got down with. I thought they were kind of filler episodes, but once we hit season 7, it really started picking back up. I mean, episode 7, not season 7. Yeah. That's going to be like 10 years from now.
At the rate, with this coronavirus stuff, that very well could happen. Because that's happening in a lot of shows.
Yeah, and it's probably going to continue.
I don't know. I had probably more questions with episode. I enjoyed episode 7. I agree with you. The last 2 episodes before this, we just slogged our way through a little bit. But I think episode 7 got a lot better. But I did have some questions about it. I could not figure out why couldn't Allison tell Raymond about John F. Kennedy? Like, he's so excited about that. And I kind of felt like she just kind of leading him on.
Well, I think if he's so excited about it, I think if she was just like, hey, don't get too excited because he's going to come through town and get his head blown off. She'd be like, how do you know this?
Yeah, well, you got a good point.
Then he really would think go back to thinking she was working for the feds and stuff again.
Yeah, well, good point. But I mean, I just kind of felt like there's got to be ways to kind of bring that down a little bit. That excitement that he has for it. Because he knows.
And I think maybe she's thinking that they're going to stop it. Because that was like the whole point, was they were going to stop the assassination.
See, I never understood that aspect of it.
Yeah, I never understood what that would have accomplished.
Yeah, because in history that happens.
You rewrite history and then you're messing with the space-time thing.
Yeah.
And that's a big no-no, but they continually do it. So
I mean, they have to know that it's something about them that caused this to kind of go crazy in the 1960s.
You would think.
But no, they're like, oh, we're going to go back and save Kennedy. Why?
No,
you were in 2019 and Kenny was dead and that didn't
right.
do anything.
Another thing I kind of had an issue with episode 7 was how easy it was for 5 to get to Carmichael.
I know. Where was the security? Like, you're the board of directors for the commission, and I felt like there was no security.
Even if he had got
the one in the 1980s.
Even if he had got through security, why was Carmichael? I thought Carmichael was going to be the big boss. Why was he so easy to just kill her? Well, he didn't kill him. He took him back to the handler. But why was he so easy to take down? He was just like,
when we were,
or he was running.
When we were
5 tracks him down.
When we were first introduced to him in what was it, episode 2? I thought he was going. I thought he was going to be like something interesting. He turned out to be nothing.
Yeah, I almost don't see the point other than her being demoted. Why?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, okay, when number 5 goes in there to take him out, I thought, well, okay, this is where we're going to see something with Carmichael. He hit her in his desk, and then somehow he took off. Like, I didn't understand that.
Because that woman, tackled 5. Oh, you broke the vending machine.
Yeah.
And so then he gets away from her. He's running. 5 tracks him down, and it's just like, whoosh.
Yeah.
And then puts him in a bag like you do goldfish and take it back to the handler.
And I didn't understand that. What does the handler want with him?
I think she just wanted to gloat. Like, oh, I'm
to a goldfish?
Yeah, basically she's like, puts him in the goldfish tank, and she's like, who's on top now, you son of a... like,
but I kind of feel like, okay, that's a little, like, don't you realize that there's probably going to be people that are going to be like, that are in the commission that are going to be like,
and then when
hey, we're going to get him out.
Then she announces to the commission that everybody from the board has been murdered, and she's like, there's grieving counselors for those who need it, but our insurance doesn't cover that. So who is their insurance?
That's the way I thought. I know. like you live out of the space-time continuum. Exactly Where is there like an insurance
Did
company
they just
beside
say that to like make it look like the commission's like this big business, this big company? It's not really just a group of people that decide who gets to live and who gets to die, and who's focusing on whether or not you're messing with time. But then yet when people do mess with time, you don't really do anything about it.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. Like, why aren't they? They send the stupid Swedes.
Yeah.
To go after them that can't shoot anything.
Right.
And they send them after to kill them. But you know what? They have all these other people that could go and kill them too. Like, why would you allow these people to mess with time like that?
There's so much stuff about this episode that kind of left me with questions. I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was great.
I did too.
But, like, Diego, like, Five's like, oh, she works for the commission. He's like, you don't know her.
Yeah,
neither do you. You escaped a mental institution with her. And
she was literally in a mental... Like, even if that was just it, and she was just a mental patient, why would you still think
They never, like, really touched on whether or not, like, she was already in this mental institution or the commission put her there to be with Diego. Like, that was all, like, a setup to recruit him. Or what that was about.
I kind of felt that way too with a lot of things.
They wanted him to work for them like Five did, but what made you think you could trust Diego? You couldn't trust Five.
I didn't understand that, and even towards, I think it was episode 4, episode 5, he started. He said, "Well, why didn't you save me?" When they were doing their little fights and stuff.
And she's like, "Well, he's a kid. You're a grown man. Quit being a baby." Basically.
Yeah, but that's a.
That's a 45-year-old kid who was trained to be an assassin.
Yeah, like number 5 can kill anybody. Like even Vanya, even
Vanya backed down from him.
Yeah, even Vanya is not going to. Well, even Vanya will back down from her. When it comes to things too. I mean, she's like in the comic books and things. So I mean, there's parts that didn't make sense to me about that.
I mean, it was a good episode. But
yeah, I thought it was.
There's parts that can be touched on and questions can be asked. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what this is about.
And I kind of really understand exactly why the handler only gave them 90 minutes.
I think that was just because she didn't want them to succeed. She was just wanted another reason to kill Five. Like I said in previous videos, that she was obsessed with Five and the Hargraves in general. That she's just looking for a reason to go after them, and
but that didn't make it.
And I think that felt like if she took that back to the commission, like, oh, they killed our board of directors, then the commission would give her the green light, where they've kind of been like, hey, you need to back off these. You're demoted. It ain't up to you no more, type thing.
Yeah, but what was the commission going to allow? The commission was still apparently. I guess the commission's still going to allow everything to go through because. Number 5 said at the end of the episode, he said, well, now this is the end of the world now. So, I mean, I guess the commission is just going to allow the end of the world in the 1960s. That didn't make any sense. Like, what is the point of the commission if they're just going to allow the end of the world? Yeah, like just because some guy, some people decide to go back in time. Like, to me, that just didn't really make any sense with that.
Even after they had their issues and stuff, like Diego left or whatever, or, Diego was kind of mad at her for finding things out. Like, you didn't help me, you helped Five.
Yeah.
Why would he just be like, sure, I'll drink out of your flask?
Yeah, like, how did you not know that was a setup? Like I mean, I was like,
even when I was first watching it, and she took a drink, I was like, it doesn't even look like she drank anything.
No.
Or I thought it was just me. And then when he takes his drink and he's all druggied, I was like, because she didn't.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, I just found out you're my enemy. But hey, yeah, let's get drunk together.
Yeah.
Like, that didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, that just made no sense to me. So, I mean, there was some questions that I had with that, too. I just kind of felt like number 5 was a little too trustworthy with the handler. And I kind of felt like Diego was a little too trustworthy with Lala.
5 would trust her, period, at all.
What made him think that she wouldn't just send him back to the apocalypse? Like, I mean, why would have things have
what
changed?
Made him really think that?
Like, they literally, the last thing that he saw was
I'm gonna let you and your family go back to 2019 with no doomsday, with none of this. Yeah. We're just gonna wipe the slate clean. Why did you believe that?
And see, that never made any sense to me because the last thing he saw in 2019 was the moon coming down and fixing to crash down into the earth. Like, I did not understand why he was just like, oh yeah, let's go back to that same or a couple days after that, or some junk like that. That didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit kind of like, what's wrong with this guy? Like he's smart in some ways, but then I kind of felt like he was just. I don't
feel like Vanya understands how this time stuff works because she's just willing to screw everything up to be with that sissy woman.
I don't understand that. Like okay, I do not understand. Like when it comes to Klaus and Dave, was it David?
Dave, yeah.
Dave. Like that relationship feels real. But this with Sissy thing with Vanya just feels so forced. It just feels like she's just falling in love because someone's paying attention to her. Like, that's the way I feel.
Yeah, and at first I was kind of like, somebody gave her attention so she fell in love. But she doesn't even realize how she was mistreated as a kid because she has amnesia.
No, I just feel like that's just maybe just some part of her nature or something be that way.
Or her subconscious.
I kind of feel like if someone else would have hit her with the car, then she would have fell in love with them too. Like, that's the way I kind of feel about it. I don't feel like there's anything special about Sissy.
Yeah,
I feel like there's something special with Klaus.
I kind of wish the way they had done it.
In Allison
I kind of wish the way they had done it instead of this sissy random woman hitting her with the car and her falling in love, maybe, and having that kid Harlan being there. Like, maybe it could have been cool if they had time traveled back in time. Well, he wasn't born yet. Never mind. Never mind.
Well, I mean,
I was gonna say it'd be cool if it was Leonard's family who hit her with the car, and that's how he found out about.
You know what? That would actually.
But the time was too far back.
Yeah, because
he wasn't born yet.
That would have been what? 27 years.
Yeah, that was in '63, and he was born in '89.
But that
would have been kind of interesting to me.
But see, that would have actually. I would have been more cool with that than I would with this whole Vanya thing all the way around. Just doesn't feel.
I like Vanya. I do not. I kind of feel sorry for her sometimes.
Look. I like Allison's storyline. I know I've complained a lot about Allison, but I actually like her storyline a lot better this year than what I did in the first year.
Her storyline's a little bit better, but Allison's still my least favorite character, and we're on episode 7. She still hasn't mentioned her daughter.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, time travel does stuff to memories. Apparently, I guess.
Yeah, if you get hit in the chest with a car.
That would be like...
I guess they said she went back and hit her head, but I didn't see that in the episode.
That would be like you getting hit by your kid's tricycle and then fall to the ground and be like, I can't remember nothing. Like, that was the bad of a hit is what it would have been with that. Maybe even less of it.
Maybe.
That's the way I kind of felt with it. So, yeah, I kind of just feel like Vanya is just asking for the end of the world. I kind of feel like even if she's not the bomb that sets off the end of the world, she's going to try to find some way to be the bomb to set off the end of the world in some form or fashion. Like, I
didn't understand the Swede guy writing Olga for Olga on the floor, and then Luther and Diego being like, let's look her up in the phone book.
What? Okay, that is my biggest question. Of how stupid.
Well, 5 even's like, you retards.
And why did he even, and this is what I don't actually understand too.
And why did the guy... Like, wrong number.
Yeah. and then why exactly did the Swedes even write that in Swedish anyways when they know they can't speak Swedish? So that's going to be scary. He's for Olga.
Maybe it was 4-5 because he knows stuff and they know he knows stuff.
It could very well have been.
And maybe that was a message to him because they felt like they came after him to begin with and put them on this collision course. They're the reason that's the reason his brother got blown up. We're coming after you.
Do you ever kind of get the feeling though that 5 could just handle all of this stuff by himself? Like, I kind of feel like the others are just saying to screw it up.
But then he's like, but 5 screws up plenty on his own.
5 does, but at least he does it in a more logical sense. Like, he understands what time is. He doesn't just go around changing crap. He says that,
but then he does. He keeps changing stuff anyway.
With what?
With everything.
I feel like
he changed it all. He pretty much caused the end of the world to begin with because he came back there talking about we need y'all's help in 2019. That caused that. He took them back to the 60s and allowed them to destroy all that. It's still on 5.
But see, even in season 1, 5 was like, oh yeah, I need y'all's help to save the world. Or in season 1,
all he cared about was saving the mannequin.
But yeah, where is that? And talk about
back in the store. And
he hadn't talked about the mannequin.
Well, that's because.
So we talk about always after Allison. Why is she not talking about her thing? Well, he's not talking about his wife. So that's
and like, what was it, episode 4, when they're in the beauty shop doing the dancing?
Oh yeah.
And Klaus is like, let's be honest, the only meaningful relationship any of us has ever had was when 5 was screwing the mannequin.
And was he? But in all seriousness, was he wrong about that?
No.
Like
that's what I said. The healthiest relationship. Yeah. That's bad.
Well, I mean, I almost kind of feel like the Klaus and Dave thing. Like that could be something that could be really interesting in the future, and I'm really interested in that storyline. But
I don't think there's going to be one because we already seen what it could be. He goes to Vietnam with him.
I'm even slightly interested. Yeah, the only thing, there's really not going to be a relationship because Klaus is just trying to talk him into just not going to Vietnam where he never meets him.
Unless Klaus goes back to Vietnam again and, like, I don't know, somehow takes a bullet for him instead of letting him die.
See, I almost kind of wonder how that's actually going to work. But see, okay, and I'm kind of a little bit invested slightly in Raymond and Allison, but it's just
I'm not.
Anya and Sissy. Like,
I'm more interested in that.
Like you found a lonely housewife. Congratulations.
Well, I'm more interested in that storyline just because there's something up with that kid.
Oh yeah, I really think there's some kind of connection.
I feel like it's more the storyline between Vanya and Harlan than Vanya and Sissy. I don't really care about that, but I really don't care about Allison and Ray. And my reasoning behind that is Allison's just.
I feel like
Allison could put a stop to everything by saying I heard a rumor.
I don't understand. Well, I mean, even that's kind of the one thing about it. I feel like Allison is the most underused out of all of them.
Well, yeah, because, they talk about it.
I mean, you know, when it comes to certain things, I kind of just feel like
they talk about it throughout the whole season that she has these powers but won't use them. I mean, and I've talked about that in the first season.
I know it. So I kind of get what you mean on that. But overall, I mean, this episode kind of got me a little bit back into it.
It did. I mean, I still had a lot of questions, but I mean, we still have episodes to go. So
8, 9, and 10. 3 more to go.
Let's see what happens.
Well, as always, guys, thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share our videos.
And like. Let's see how many likes we can get.
Yeah. And, guys, also remember to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. All right. Take care, guys. Episode 8.
Coming soon.
Season 2. Yeah, coming soon. Later, guys.